Hey guys, Cody here with Fount Atelier, and today we're going to talk about what I take with me when I go plein air painting. Let's go. Now you might know when it comes to plein air painting, there are a ton of different setups out there. And so you need to do some research and figure out which one is going to work best for you. For me, this setup has worked great for several years. So let's take a look at it. Now, one of the biggest things to think about when you're putting together a plein air kit is its portability. You really need to be thinking about how far away from your vehicle are you going to go? Are you going to hike into the backcountry to do some paintings, or are you going to work out of the backside of your car? That will really determine what your setup looks like. As for myself, I like to really get away from my car and hike into a place to do a little bit of painting. So I actually use a backpacking backpack that I found off Amazon. This isn't anything that is overly expensive, but it has a lot of storage and really does the trick. I can fit pretty much my whole setup in here other than my tripod. Speaking of tripods, my tripod comes in a little carrying case like this, which is really handy, but a lot of times I'll just strap it right to the side of my backpack and carry it with me that way. Now, my tripod is a really sturdy tripod made for plein air painting. It is going to be much more durable than your standard camera tripod, and it has this swivel head on it that I can rotate in any direction, which is really handy when it comes to setting things up. I also have a panel holder in here. So this is what I put my painting surface on. So I can loosen up these knobs on the back here and spread these out. Tighten it up. And I'm good to go. And on the back, you'll see there is a little camera quick connect that I can attach right to my tripod. Just like that. Okay, so as far as my backpack itself, I've got a few things around it. So on the outside, in this pocket here, I like to keep my paper towels. On the inside of that, I like to also keep my latex gloves that I use to keep the paint off of my hands and make for easy cleanup. I have some sunscreen in here for those sunny days when you're out, and I'll carry a trash bag because you always got to clean up after yourself. On the outer pocket here, I keep my solvent. So the solvent I use is Cámsol, and I keep it in this silicoil jar for now. I do have a metal canister that you can ratchet down the lid so that it doesn't leak, but this works fine. And I usually keep it inside a plastic bag just in case it does leak, it won't get all over everything. There are also these straps on the outside that I can strap my umbrella or tripod to if I want to, so works pretty well. On this first pocket right here, I have some extra batteries for my lights in case I need to use those. I have some business cards because you always got to be ready to go with those in case someone asks. I have actually been asked by people if they could purchase my plein air paintings right off the easel. So just in case, I'll take this little card reader out with me. That way, in case someone really wants to buy something, they can just purchase it right then and there. And then I also have some painter's tape, the low tack stuff that I use in my studio. In my big pocket, I have a couple of lamps. So if I'm going to go outside and I know it's going to get dark out, or I'm going to do a nocturne painting, I like to have these. That way I can clip them right to my panel or my panel holder and be ready to go in case it gets dark out. I have my paint brushes in this little container here that zips up, and that's about all I need for plein air painting. I like to keep my sketchbook handy. Sometimes it's nice to be able to work out some issues in a scene when you're on the spot, or sometimes if I don't have time to do a full painting, I'll just sit down and do some sketching. Of course, you can't go painting without oil paint, so I keep my oil paint in a plastic bag just to keep it from making a mess inside my bag. Along those lines, you also need something to paint on, so I have my painting panels in here. Sometimes I use loose canvases as well. And then this is pretty cool. This is called a panel pack, And if I do a painting on a panel and I need to transport it out from the spot that I'm hiking, obviously oil paint doesn't dry very quickly, and so I don't want it to get all over everything. So what I can do is I can take it and tape it to this panel if it's a small loose sheet, or I can just set an 8x10 painting directly in here, and it kind of rests on the ridge in there, if you can see that. And then I can just put this on like this, put the rubber bands back on, and it keeps the wet paint from touching anything, and I can stick this right back in my bag and off I go. If I'm painting on an 8x10 loose sheet of canvas or something like that, I like to have just a plain board that I can tape it to while I'm working and put it in the panel holder. And then finally, I have my palette. My palette fits right into the laptop sleeve of this backpack, and I can pull it out and it looks like that. And I can flip these wings out, and then you can see the paint in there, and it gives me a nice painting surface, and this hooks right on the tripod. I'll show you how that works. All right, so when I'm ready to paint, I can simply take my panel and stick it right in my panel holder, tighten it down like so it doesn't go anywhere. Then I can take my palette and just loosen these little brackets here and hook it right onto my tripod like that. And I think that this is ingenious because these little hooks, even though it's not physically attached by anything, it just sets right on there. But the way it's designed, it's very sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere. And then I can fold these out, and my palette is set up and I'm ready to go, which is great. And it's just at the perfect height for paint mixing and application. From there, I can set my paintbrushes on the shelf right there. I can put my solvent, if I want, on the shelf right here. This little lip kind of holds it still, or I'll set it on the ground, and then I'm good to go. This particular setup has worked really well for me for several years. It's super portable and really durable. I'm gonna post a link in the description where you can find this easel. There's an artist in Colorado named Joshua Bean who makes these, and they are fantastic, so shout out to him, and go pick one up yourself if you want something super portable. Now, of course, keep in mind, you don't have to have something quite like this in order to get out and do some plein air painting. If you're just getting started, the most important thing is that you just get outside and do it, whether that means just a sketchbook and a pencil, a simple little plein air setup, a French easel, whatever it is. In a future video, I will go ahead and go through all of the different plein air setups that you can do, but the most important thing is that you get out there. Hey, if you found this video helpful, I'd really encourage you to hit that like and subscribe button so you can see more content like this in the future. Well, I gotta get out and do some painting, so I'll see you guys later. Stay creative, my friends.